Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this pre-event webinar for the Global European Marketplace 2023. Welcome, everybody, delegates who've been before and brand new delegates to this event. I'll just wait for a few moments for attendees to spool in. Anybody joining, rest assured that this will send a recording out later alongside the preference invite that will be sending out around midday from the UK, so about 1 o'clock, anyway, lunchtime generally for everybody today. So let me share my screen. Today we will run through just a quick number of practical elements for the event. Going through some practicalities, talking about where we will be, what we're doing, when we're doing them, the matchmaking process, which, as I said, launches today, what that entails and what we want to achieve, an overview of everybody attending, and then if you have any questions, please use the chat function or the Q&A function on the webinar and drop those questions in as we go, and I will endeavour to respond to them live. If not, I can follow up after the webinar directly with you because they'll be logged in. So without further ado, thanks to our sponsors. I'll give you a quick overview further down the line of our sponsors, but of course we can't do these events without the support of our sponsors. They'll be kind of popping up throughout the two-day program. So as I said, I'll point out what they'll be doing with us in a moment. So across the 2 days, some of you may or may not be attending the industry briefing on the Thursday. That's taking place at the Doubletree by Hilton, Docklands Riverside. That's a mini conference just to set the scene, update you on ETOA's activities, and really give some top-level insights as to what's going on, which kind of helps frame then the commercial conversations happening on the Friday, which is the main event. So as you can see, there's the agenda of interesting topics there. I think we're at capacity now, so if you haven't registered, I think we've got a wait list. So just get in touch via events@etoa.org if you're interested or not sure whether you are signed up to attend that. I'll talk in a moment about how you should be getting there because the Doubletree has an interesting location, so we'll just specify exactly the best way to get there. Then on the Friday, which all of you will be attending, that's the rundown. So we do have registration open from 8 o'clock. You don't need to be there from 8 o'clock. That's just when we'll start serving refreshments and everything's open. But really, if you aim to be there from 8:30, but definitely by 10 to 9, because it's a hard start at 9 o'clock, and the meetings will start rolling from that point. So upon arrival at the Intercon, if you are a tour operated buyer, you can go straight upstairs and to your assigned desk, which you'll know in advance, or you can just ask one of the ETOA colleagues where you need to go. If you're a supplier, you arrive in the lobby and you can pick up your pack there. So for buyers, there's nothing available at the registration desk. You just need to go straight upstairs and everything will be waiting for you there. Suppliers are at the registration desks. So if you've not been to one of these events before, they're pretty intense in terms of the schedule. So it's a quick turnaround of 12-minute meetings. Of course, we do have breaks throughout, as you can see, kindly sponsored by some of our partners there. If anybody's interested, the lunch sponsorship is still available. So do get in touch if you think that will be a good way to boost your brand amongst our delegates. Again, if you've got any question, give us a shout. I think the pièce de résistance at the moment is our amazing drinks reception, which will be sponsored by Roe Co, Smithwick and Guinness Storehouse. We'll be sending out some details of that in advance, but they've really made an amazing effort in terms of boosting the reception after the busy day of meetings. So look forward to seeing what that's all about. In terms of the practicalities, as I said, if you're coming to the Doubletree by Hilton, Docklands Riverside, if you're coming by public transport, the best ways for that are either the Elizabeth line or the Jubilee line to Canary Wharf. And then there's a short walk and then a quick ferry over the river. They have their own dedicated ferry service between Canary Wharf and the hotel itself. We have vouchers for all of our delegates to get that for free. If you want to travel the whole way by river, if you're maybe staying more in the centre of town, you can avail yourself of the offer we've got kindly provided by Uber Boats by Thames Clippers, which is a free ticket that you can either use on the Thursday or the Friday in order to get to our two venues. You can book a ticket to that directly to the DoubleTree. Or if you're just coming overland, as it were, Canada Water, the Jubilee, or the Overground, and it's either a short walk or a quick bus to the venue itself, and we'll be in the London room at that venue. For the Friday, we'll be in the Aurora Ballroom, the massive ballroom they have there at the Intercon. The two ways really to get there are either by the Jubilee line to North Greenwich, and then just a walk around the corner, just head for the very tall building behind the O2. Again, you can also use the offer by Uber Boat, and there are a number of services that get you there in good time from central London or from other places in Docklands to the North Greenwich Pier, and then just a walk around the corner to the Intercon. So there's some various different ways of getting to our venues. So in terms of the format of the event, there are 36 12-minute slots, including 4 which are open, so therefore unassigned by the preference basis. So this is when you get that additional chance to kind of meet anybody that you haven't been assigned with. Obviously, there's some participants who are extremely popular for whom it isn't possible to ensure they get to meet everybody who wants to meet them. So if you are a supplier, that's easy because you know where the buyers are seated. So on the back of your agenda will be a floor plan with everybody listed and where to find them. If you're a buyer looking for somebody, just grab one of the ETOA staff and we'll be able to find the suppliers you're looking for and make sure they attend your desk in one of the open slots. So that's kind of an additional opportunity as well as the meetings assigned on preferences. So as I said, that will be launching today, the preference portal. As always, you'll be asked to submit your choices and they will be then combined equally between buyers and suppliers in order to make your agendas in combination. At this event, the buyers will be seated. So that's really important to reiterate again. Buyers are seated at their assigned desks and then suppliers move around the room in line with the agendas. So if you're a supplier, don't bring too much stuff. There is limited charging available, but bear in mind obviously that there's a lot of people there, so do come fully charged and don't rely too much on any fixed charging available for every single meeting, because the charging stations will be either in the middle or at the sides of the room. So yeah, don't bring too much bulky printed material. You can follow up with that directly after. So the meetings, again, are very short. So they're 12 minutes. We give a warning after 10 minutes. So that last 2 minutes, we'll make an announcement, and that's really time to wrap up and start making your way to your next meeting. Please do respect the agenda, because obviously there's a lot of people there, and we need to make it fair in order that everybody gets their time. As I said, the open appointments and the social elements and the breaks, they're all available to everybody to kind of continue the conversation further. As well as telling everybody what you're doing, what you're selling, it's really important to listen as well. So really bear in mind that when you have that moment with the tour operators in the room, listen to what their requirements are, because it may expedite what you could talk about in terms of the products and services that you are offering. As a reminder to everybody, the way that we lay the floor plan out for the tour operators is in a snake formation. So you enter the room, on your left-hand side will be desk 1, and that will loop throughout the room in a snake format. There'll be a space in the middle, but the sense of the room is in a snake throughout the room. Preferences are launching today around lunchtime. These will be open until Wednesday the 18th. That is a deadline, but we will start chasing you in advance of the 18th if you haven't submitted anything. So what we would ask you to do is to go in and make your first flush of choices, but then check in towards the 18th just to review those choices and also to check any late additions of new delegates, because we will be still adding people in over the next 10 days or so into that system. So we say the 18th, but if it's the 15th, 16th, 17th and you haven't submitted anything, we'll start to get nervous and we'll ask you to we'll start chasing you by email and calls. So the 18th is the hard deadline. but please submit some preferences in advance because there's a lot of data to collect in order to make this work. As you'll see, and I'll just do a quick demo in a moment of what the preference looks like. If you are a supplier looking down the list and there are multiple delegates from different companies, please look at what their profile says or how they've been listed in order that they align with what you're selling. So that might be in terms of product category or destination responsibility from the tour operator side of views. So have a look who connects with where you are and what you're offering, and select only one of them. I know that it's tempting to kind of try and boost your chances of a match by selecting everybody from some of the big tour operators, but really please only pick the person who's most relevant to you. Mutual preferences will be boosted, so it really pays off to pick the right people when you make those choices. Our target is to be launching provisional agendas the week of the 23rd of October, and that will start allowing you to prepare for your meeting. So you're going to meet, we won't be doing too many wholesale changes, just tweaks and amends and topping up your meeting agendas there. But the agenda that you should use for the day of the event is the printed agenda that we will provide you on the day of the event itself. So as I said, the buyers will have those on their desks ready for them. Suppliers will need to pick those up in the foyer upon arrival. So I'm just very quickly then going to show you a quick tour of the appointment platform, of which you'll all be invited to later today, or if you're a primary delegate, you'll be invited to that. So just a quick note on any secondary delegates on the supplier side. Unfortunately, you're not really involved directly in this process, so please do ask your colleague to have a review of this, or definitely a conversation about who you're picking to meet with, because for this, it's all about the primary delegates, and we'll have a printed version of that final delegate that you'll share with your secondary on the day of the event. So we'll send this out later. You'll get access directly to the portal, and then you've got two different types of preferences: priority preferences and standard preferences. So the priority, you're really your top priority enhanced choices there. So once you've selected everybody you'd like to meet, please put all of them either in the priority or the standard choices there. Lisa, I see you've got your hand up. If you'd like to just drop your question into the chat, I'll be able to see that and respond to you online. So in terms of the functions, I'm signed in here as a buyer, so I'll be seeing all the supplier listed. If you just want to see the full list, just directly go to the search button and you'll see all of the list. So as I'm a supplier registration, these are all of the operators here. You can either search for specific people, companies that is. You can go by source markets. So if you're really targeted at specific source markets in terms of your work, or that's your responsibility, select those and that will filter. The different types as well. This will break down the different tour operator types or product interest. We've added a new function this time, which is all brand new people attending. So you can just apply that and it will be the list of the first time attendees for you to pick. So sometimes it's tempting just to gravitate towards people that you know and be kind of maybe gloss over some of the new ones that are unfamiliar to you, but please do have a look. So we've got a really good number of first-time attendees here. So then you can click the information button and see their full profile of what they are. And this is unfortunately a naughty one who's not completed their profile. Let's hope for another one. Okay, so here is their objectives, description, and a bit more information about the destinations and people that they're looking to meet at this event. So you can review that and see what they are, and then once you're ready, you can add them over onto the side, and then they're on your preferences, and then just make sure either to put them in your priority or your standard preferences there, and then we'll take those in combination between the operators and the suppliers and take those. You can enter this as many times as you like, so just sign off. Everything is saved automatically on here, so don't worry about that. I will just now return back to my presentation. So This is a top-level overview of who is attending. So this is starting with the buyer side. We've broken that down, so it's really an impression of who we've got in the room. I think we're just sitting around 250 desks at the moment, but as I said, we expect a good number more to come in for you to pick from. And we've broken those down from traditional tour operators, MICE providers, OTAs, wholesalers, B2B providers, and then the kind of segments that they function in terms of either groups, FIT, scheduled, and then the type of tourism that they provide kind of on a sectoral basis. And then the proportion of the delegates engaged in those key markets down. So obviously North America, as usual for our events, leads the way, followed by intra-European and Asian markets, and then further afield. So it's probably as expected, but it always should be reiterated about the global European marketplace is truly global and represents markets from all around the world. Even if it is in London and the UK, it's the place to be to meet with those markets and those buyers that attend unhosted. So they are members of ETOA, part of that network, and really committed to the development of the European tourism industry from international markets. And then on the supplier side, this is a breakdown of where they're from and what types they are. So that really tracks with who everyone's looking for in terms of product, the new product, and the different destinations from across Europe. So that's the breakdown of what we've got. So we hope that that matches everyone's needs and expectations. We hope we've got some interesting surprises in the mix as well for that event, and hopefully there's some new product for you. Again, I want to thank our sponsors. I will just send to everybody some details on all of the sponsors that we have coming. So some of these brands may or may not be familiar to you. So I think it's maybe a bit too long, but I'll send an overview to everybody a bit later. The Abba Voyage will be sponsoring the welcome. That's the new amazing virtual concert that's in London. If you don't know about it, do look it up. That's a really interesting and innovative attraction here in London. Big Bus Tours, very well known to everybody. Fragonard, Perfume and museums in France. The collection of Guinness Storehouse, Smithwick and Roe Co Distilleries, they'll be sponsoring the drinks reception. As I said, we will be sending some exciting details about that out to delegates later. Sherpa is a luggage company, so that's interesting for both suppliers and buyers at this event. We've got a number of destinations supporting this. So we have Tenerife, Tuscany and Malaposca coming to support various parts of the programme. Tootbus, another hop-on, hop-off bus company in various destinations across Europe, and Airwallex, which is a financial company. So that's really interesting to check out if that impacts your business or your role within your business. If you are interested in that, we still have a few last options available to boost your promotion and brand at the event. So if you haven't already booked in some advertisement space, we will be having a delegate directory at this year's event. So do get in touch. There's information on the website etoa.org/gem. If you just go to the promotional opportunities page, a colleague of ours, Carl, will be able to walk you through what's still available in that printed document, which is really useful then to take back with you as a good guide for your work throughout the year. As I said, lunch is still available, as well as a marketing base. If you're a supplier and interested in having a physical base through the day, we can do sort out the marketing table, which is really great branding on there, or we can do some targeted online communication that we can book in for you to delegates and the wider ETOA community. If you want to extend your meetings, obviously, as I said, we've got the world in the room, but we do have a few supplementary online events that kind of extend your reach, typically to those operators that can't attend in person. Either it's they're very long haul markets, it's not convenient for them to attend in London. So we have an event coming up targeted to Asia Pacific. So that in attendance there online, it's the same format, just online meetings with agents and operators from across Asia Pacific. We have another event coming up just 2 days later dedicated to sustainable tourism. So that's everybody who's particularly interested in the development and their progress on the sustainable tourism endeavors that we're all making. And then into the new year, our North America marketplace. So that's just to bear in mind that obviously we fill the room full of operators, but there's an even bigger world out there of different agents and operators that you can meet at our events online. So if you attend any of our events in person, which you all are, you can access all of these events for only €450. So that just adds into your diary those additional meetings. So that's really my overview of the event and everything that's going on. So as I said, do let me know if you have any questions, whether or not this is your first time at the event or you're a returning customer. Give me a shout, or we're available in response to the the preference emails that we'll be launching later. You can reply directly to that email, and we'll endeavour to guide you in the right direction if you need some help with your preferences or any practicalities for the event. So that is me done. Again, I'm just checking. I haven't seen any questions, but hopefully that was a useful overview. And as I said, we'll send a recording of this out. So if I've mentioned anything too quickly that you can review later, you'll have that to hand. Thank you very much. We really look forward to seeing you in London in a few weeks. Stay in touch. Please do let us know if there are any changes that you need to make to your appointment. It's really useful to get that information in advance of the event in case you're going to arrive late. If you need to leave early, do let us know in advance that you need to make those changes, because it makes it a lot more straightforward as we get to the matching. We are matching thousands and thousands of meetings, so any support that we can do in advance from your side is much appreciated. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks in London. Thank you. Bye-bye.